Yeah.
Another minute. Should we start? If I wait for the room to fill, it'll be Uttarakhand will be over.
You can start.
You're doing the audio?
Yeah. What's this?
Is there a extension cord?
Oh,
There should
I
be.
get it from my office.
Let's see if it keeps.
Hallelujah.
You're fine.
Yeah, looks like it reached. Ready? Om Jnana-Timirandhasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kujantam Ram Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Goshpadi Krutavarashim Mashaki Krutarakshasam Ramayana Maharatnamala Vande Anilatmajam Anjananandanam Veeram Janaki Shokanashanam Kapishahamaksharantaram Vande Lanka Bhayamkaram Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Krutamastakanjalim Bhashpavari Paripurnalochanam Marutim Ramatarakshasam Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Sriramadutam Shirasa Namami Charitam Raghunathasya Shatakoti Pravistaram Eka Ekamaksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinah Shunvan Rama Katha Nadam Punayati Param Gatim. Hare Krishna. Long weekend and nice to be with all of you. So what I thought, because it's long weekend, we'll go a little longer. Is that okay? Yesterday, Haridwani asked me, are you finally going to start the Ramayana or more? And I said, I would like to, but there is so much in appreciation before, and without preparing the field, it's not so much fun to jump right into it. And so today we'll still prepare the field a little bit. Yes. There is a lot there. That's the whole idea. We want to be very eager to hear about Lord Ramachandra and his devotees. So there is a shloka about how what should a person do in their day. How should they conduct their day? And it is said, and I'm trying to find where that verse is from. So many persons have quoted it. I just don't know where it is from. I spent hours looking for it. I couldn't. Finally, Shabakun Mahaprabhu. If you find it, you'll find it. It says, Pratah Dyuta Prasangena, Madhyane Stri Prasangena, Ratro Chora Prasangena, Kalo Gacchati Srimatam. Srimatam means a very richly endowed or a very intelligent person spends their day doing three things in the 3 day parts. Pratah, early in the morning. Dyuta Prasangena, they hear about gambling. Madhyane, in the middle of the day. Stri Prasangena, they discuss about a woman. And it says Ratro Chora Prasangena. At night, they discuss about stealing or a particular thief. And Kalo Gacchati. This is how a person spends their time. Who's such a person? Very intelligent. So obviously the between the lines is Pratah Dyuta Prasangena. That discussion where there is gambling. That is the Mahabharata. So one should discuss Mahabharata and all the issues about Mahabharata. What happens if I do something wrong? What happens if I don't follow Dharma? What will my life look like? Then one has to go to work. So it said in the afternoon, Stri Prasangena. One should discuss about a woman. Which woman? Sita Devi. So afternoon, one should spend in discussing and reading and contemplating on Srimad Ramayana. Because that's when everyone goes to work, either husband or wife or both, and they have to consider, my gosh, look what my life is all about. What I have to do to just maintain my duties, my family, and all the things that I have taken on. And after coming back from a tired day or taking care of all the household work after a full day, Ratro Chora Prasange. At night, one should discuss about a thief, Krishna, who steals butter. And eventually, the idea is let Krishna steal my heart completely. And this is how the heart becomes butter-like. The Krishna likes butter because it's the essence of milk. So when a person leads one's life thinking about how to live dharmically, how I'm supposed to conduct my duties, how I'm supposed to be helping other living entities, etc., heart becomes softer. Krishna can steal. So that's the little discussion on it. The Ramayana is such that it is a poetry, right? 24,000 verses of poetry. Now, poetry, as we discussed on the first time when we met, that poetry, especially Ramayana, if you read the lines, you get the katha, the story. But if you read between the lines, okay, you get the purports. Or another way, when you read the line, you get dharma. Because that's how Lord Ramachandra lived his life. So when you read the lines, you understand dharma. When you read between the lines, you understand Brahma, the Supreme Lord. So that is why Ramayana is such a mysterious literature, because you're supposed to read the lines and read between the lines. And Valmiki gave us the lines, all the acharyas give us what's between the lines. Okay. So we understand the supreme couple and how they interact, what happens in their life, and how they establish something for us to be very attracted to. Last time we discussed Valmiki's appearance, but I realized that I didn't say the punchline. And the punchline is Valmiki got his name because he appeared from Valmika. Valmika means an answer. So when Varuna showered these rains, he's called one of the sons of Varuna. Remember we discussed why he was cursed. Another name of Valmiki is Pracheta, because Varuna is one of the Prachetas. Pracheta. So Valmika, someone who came from it, became Valmiki. That's how he got his name, Valmiki. Where we left off was Valmiki was in distress. He was sad. He was in a very difficult condition, difficult state of mind because pregnant Sita showed up at his ashram. And we discussed why Lord Ramachandra sent Sita Devi. We discussed a couple of reasons according to Bhagavad. Now, another layer to it is that in olden times, not anymore, in olden times, when the wife was due to deliver a child, she would go to either her mother's house or to her brother's house, and that's where she would deliver the child. So, in the Rig Veda, Valmikas, the ant hills, are described as the ear of Bhumi, Mother Earth. So Mother Earth listens to everything that's happening through the ant hills, apparently. Don't ask me how she hears or what the olfactory. That's what Valmika is supposed to be, the ear of. So one who came from it, Valmiki, technically then is the son of Bhumi Devi. Okay? Where did Sita appear from? She is yet to appear, but later we understand she appeared from the earth. So she is Bhumi Devi's daughter. So she is the daughter, he is the son. So technically, in one sense, Valmiki is the brother of Sita Devi. So Lord Ramachandra sent her to her brother's house for delivery. Yet, because Valmiki hasn't had full understanding of the pastimes of Sita and Rama, he is in very, very deep distress. Before plunging into this, we discussed that Ramayana is a text in which from beginning to end, there is the sense of separation and the karuna or the sadness, sometimes called shoka. Shoka of separation, which we understand from Rupa Goswami and Prabhupada's teachings that that's the highest form of ecstasy. However, Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi, they exhibit Vipralambha in the conjugal rasa while they are married. Lord Krishna expresses it in the conjugal rasa with outside of marriage. We know this, right? But that's important to remember. The question is, they were separated for a long time. And at that long time was to increase the sense of separation and the yearning for each other's company. Another thing we talked about was that the Ramayana from the beginning to end, although it is titled Ramayana, it is a glorification of Sita Devi. Sitayam Charitam Mahat. Right? That was supposedly the name and the intent. And we'll show right when the first verse comes into being how Sita Devi is glorified. We'll get into that hopefully. So you're ready for it, right? So this whole thing is glorification of Sita Devi. And so one of the reasons for sending her is that the whole world, humanity itself, aligns itself with Sita Devi. And Sita Devi till today is glorified. You may point a finger at Lord Ramachandra, but no one points a finger at Sita Devi. Although in the Ramayana she will say some things really that are sharp like that. Still, all of humanity stands by Sita Devi and the Supreme Lord who has no mistakes, never makes any errors, whatever he does is kept on the questionable category. We don't know why is he doing like this, right? So it's a glorification of Sita Devi. Like we discussed that in Vrindavan, in Govardhan area, there is Sham Kund and Radha Kund right next to it. We all say, I went to Radha Kund. I want to take a dip in Radha Kund. Shampoo also is there. We also take a dip there, but not discuss so much. Why? Because it's a glorification of the Radha. Not that it is less potent or anything. And technically, there is little thing in between where the waters get mixed. So really, it's not different. But we all say, Radha Kund, we went to Radha. Because this is Krishna's way of glorifying his also. Okay. Another way of appreciating Sita Devi, one devotee expresses that there are many stotras, and one is called Rama Raksha. And this person is calling out to Lord Ramachandra for his mercy. So he says, Ramaya, oh Rama. Ramachandra is busy, he doesn't respond. He says, Ramachandraya, oh Ramabhadraya. He doesn't respond. I said, okay, I need to intensify this. Ramachandraya, oh Lord Ramachandra. No response. He said, okay, I need to butter him up a little bit more. Vedhase. Vedhase means one who's omniscient, one who's the knower of all the Vedas. Vedhase. No response. It's okay, I need to connect him with his devotee. Raghunathaya. The descendant of the Raghu dynasty. No response. Nathaya, my dear Lord, my shelter. Lord Ramachandra doesn't respond. Finally says, Sitaya Pate. Lord Ram says, yeah, what do you want? Unless he's called out as Sita Pati, he doesn't respond. Therefore, we're also taught, we never say Krishna, Krishna, we're supposed to say Hare Krishna. Oh, thank you. Fantastic. Chanakya Niti, thank you. Okay, so Valmiki, thank you, Shampu.
You're welcome, Prabhuji.
Nice also, Shampu. So Valmiki is sitting in this very, very distressed condition, which we're going to read today. And I'm going to go back and forth because if I go ahead of myself, we'll miss the nectar here. But if I don't say this, then the rest won't make sense. So I'm going to go back and forth and then we'll put the whole chronology in place. So the Ramayana, Srimad Ramayana, begins very, very first verse. The first canto begins with Tapasvadhyaya Niratam Tapasvim Vagvidamvara Narada Paripapracha Valmiki Munipundavam. So the word to word meaning is Tapa Swadhyaya Niratam. Somebody who's accomplished and dedicated to Niratam is dedicated to Tapa and Swadhyaya. This is Valmiki. Tapasvi is Narada Muni. Tapasvi Vag Vidam Varam. The Varam is the best. We say Raghu Vara, the best of the Raghu dynasty. So Vag Vidam Varam, one who knows how to speak. So how to speak is what words to use, what phrases to use, how beautifully to speak, what tone of voice to speak in, what speed to speak in, and with what kind of connection to make with there's a whole art and science to communication. And the best of them, Varam, is Narada. Narada Paripapracha, he asked Valmiki, Muni Pungava, the best of the Munis, that is Narada. So Narada has a lot of adjectives here which we'll discuss. So what happened is, Valmiki is very disturbed, Sita Devi is here, he doesn't know what it means. And the first indication is giving us is that whenever we are in any kind of perplexity, difficulty, confusion, we don't know what to do, What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to meditate on the spiritual life. This is what Vyasadeva also did. It means Guru showed up. Here Narada Muni showed up. There also he showed up for Vyasadeva. Here he showed up for Valmiki. Okay. So this verse has certain characteristics which are very, very beautiful. So again, please forgive me. These were every verse has what's called alankara, decoration, which if we miss, then the whole joy in the poetry is gone. Okay? So generally, you never start. You don't start it because there are certain rules. However, in this case, it starts with a ta. And this word, the syllable ta, is called takaro vignanashakaha. That anything you start with a ta, it removes all obstacles. And takaro saukhyadayakaha. It gives all sorts of happiness. Okay. So that's why it starts with a ta. Tapa. Swadhyaya Nirtam. He could have started it with Narada, he could have started anywhere, right? In Sanskrit, there are no rules how to start. But he starts with a ta. So there is a reason why he starts with ta. It is said that all deities have what is called bija mantra. It is that mantra, that syllable by which we identify whoever is the deity. For example, for Krishna, it is all our pujaris who offer mantras on the altar, clean. And for Radharani or Lakshmi Devi, it is Shrim. Clean, Shrim. So like this, Ta is the bija for creation. It represents creation. So here's how it represents creation. Lord Brahma appeared suddenly on the lotus. It sprang from the navel of Lord Vishnu. He looked around. It was only darkness. Only he was there in existence, nothing else. So he thought, I should go down the lotus stem because somewhere it's connected, so I can find my source. He climbed down. For so long, the stem didn't end. He got tired. He got scared. He came back up. And in this complete darkness, he fixed his mind in trying to find the source. And he heard something. What did he hear? Tapa. Tapa, that's what the Ramayana starts with. Tapa, Swadhyaya Nirata. Okay. It is an honor, a respect to Lord Brahma. With that Bija mantra, Tapa. Why Lord Brahma is coming in the next few verses. So first he offers respect, and this is Mangalacharana, right? We always offer respect to the Guru. So here Lord Brahma is the Guru's Guru. And Narada Muni came. So he asked Narada Muni, I have some questions for you. Okay. Before we get to what questions he asked, let's talk about the takaras. Okay. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 8, verse 18, Lord Brahma, the verse actually says, Lord Brahma in his ignorance contemplated, who am I that I'm situated on top of this lotus? Where from has it sprouted? There must be something downwards, and from that which the lotus has grown must be within the water. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, the most intelligent man is he who tries to find the cause of his personal existence and that of the whole cosmic creation, and thus tries to find the ultimate cause. If his attempt is properly executed with penances and perseverance, it is sure to be crowned with success. So one should find who one is, what is the source of creation and the ultimate cause, right? One should find. And how should one find it? With penance and perseverance. Janmad yasya yatah. I want to know that source from which everything comes. How does the Ramayana start? Tapa, from penance and perseverance. Tapa and swadhyaya. What does one get? The source. How is the source revealed? From this bija, tapa. So slokas starting with ta in Ramayana are considered ultimately potent. And anyone who recites these verses, it is said, those verses bestow upon the person these blessings. So when this verse is recited, one is put on the path of knowing oneself, the cause of creation, and the ultimate source. That is why it starts with tapa swadhyaya. Okay, we'll come back to Narada Muni and Valmiki in 1 second. So in the Ramayana, at very critical moments, Valmiki has many shlokas starting with here are a few more examples. Okay, this is in the Aranya Kanda. It says tam drashtva shatrum hantaram maharshinam sukhavaham babhuva harshta vaidehi bhartaram parishasvaje. Tam drashtva, when she saw him. Who is she? Sita Devi, Vaidehi. She saw Maharshinam Sukhavaham. He had brought pleasure to all the great sages. How? By killing 14,000 demons. Actually, 13,999 demons. We'll come to that story. Very important story. And Sita, Vaidehi, Bhartaram, Parishasvaje. She went and embraced her husband. It is said that anybody who's having marital problems, when they recite this verse, it brings a very, very special bonding in the relationship. Because Sita Devi embracing Lord Ramachandra. When we come to that particular situation, I'll explain so much in that verse. Why in public, it's never done, etc., etc. Okay, but it's done. So that's one verse, which is very, very potent. Next verse is, this is the last verse of Sundara Kanda. Tato maya vagbhyadinam bhashini shivabhi ishthabhi abhiprasidati jagam shantim mama maithilim tava abhishokena tatha abhipidita. This is Hanuman leaving Lanka and coming back. And he says, I've left Sita Devi there, apishokena tatha abhipidita. So this verse is supposed to be the mantra that anyone who's going through mental distress or some agony within the heart or something's bothering them, they don't know how to succeed from it. This is the mantra. Then in the beginning of Sundarakanda is the famous one. Tato Ravananitaya Sitaya Shatrukarshna Yesha Padamanvishtum Charana Charite Pati. This is a mantra for success because Hanuman became successful with this. So in all places. And how does the Ramayana end? The very last verse of Uttarakanda, it says, Tatha samagatam sarvan sthapya loka gurur divi Krishtai pramudutai devai jagama vidivam mahat. Starts with the, ends with the mahat. So the whole Ramayana, wherever there is takara, is considered auspicious, potent, benedicting, and all respect to finding out the source of creation, that is Lord Ramachandra. So Vyasadeva has an appreciation for Ramayana. No one will say, please read my book. They will say, please read that book, right? So Vyasadeva's appreciation for Ramayana says is avichinnai asanklishtai abhedyai anupayakai samkleshyai yadi sampariprushtaha tatah tatam anuvadeta tat. He says avichinnai. If one is in a very complicated situation that they cannot find a solution for, asanklishtai, krishta means very difficult. If one is in a very difficult situation that they don't see any way of coming out of it, abhedyai, there is no way of disconnecting oneself from whatever is harassing them or bothering them. Anupayakai, upaya means solution. If one finds oneself in a place where one cannot have any solution, this is no solution, they can't think of it. Samkleshe yadi samparipushtaha. If one is surrounded by all sorts of klesha, what to do? Ataha, then such a person, tatam, one should study tatam. What is the book called tatam? One should study the book called tatam. So tatam is Ramayana. Starts with the, ends with the. So between, so starting with the, ending with the, everything in between one should study. This is Vyasadev's instruction. Okay. So Valmiki is sitting down. He is in severe distress and he really wants to know. He has a burning question. Burning question is there a perfect person in this creation, in this world? And I don't want to hear somebody from history. I want to know right now, is there a perfect person? Because I am confused that Sita Devi has showed up at my door and supposedly, how can this happen? How can someone abandon their pregnant wife? I want to know, is there a perfect person? So Narada Muni has come. We'll go back to the verse Tapaswadhyaya very soon. But it's very nice to hear about Lord Ramachandra's quality. So he asks the question, Ko Naswin Sampratam Loke. Ko Aswin. Is there anyone? Who's there? Sampratam Loke. At this current time in this world. Gunavan. So there are 16 qualities he's looking for in one person. Impossible. By good fortune or bad fortune, I've got a few people married. And one person that I know, at once I'd asked the person, can you please give me a list of what you're looking for in your spouse? This person gave a list. Very sincere person, very beautiful list. When I looked at the list, I said, I found somebody. Oh, who is that? I said, only Srila Prabhupada can marry. Why is that? Because the requests are so high. Only Prabhupada fits that, but he's sannyas. I cannot marry. Huh? So, he's following Lord Ramachandra. So he said, no, that's not. So asking these 16 qualities in one person is too much. But he asks. So here's the set of verses that are 16 qualities. See if you can identify what those mean. Okay. Kon aswin sampratam loke gunavan kaschya viryavan dharmagyascha krutagyascha satyavakyo dhrudavratah चारित्रेण च को युक्तः सर्वभूतेषु को हितः विद्वान् कः कः समर्थश्च कश्च एक प्रियदर्शनः आत्मवान् को जितक्रोधो द्युतिमान् को अनुसूयकः कस्य बिभ्यति देवाश्च जातुरोषस्य संयुगे 16 qualities. Is there anyone like this? So let's do it in English. Gunavan. So we'll discuss the word Gunavan a little later. Is there a person who is Gunavan, full of qualities? And then he asks qualities. So obviously Gunavan doesn't mean qualities. There is a specific meaning for Gunavan. So is there Gunavan Kascha Viryavan, so powerful and mighty. Viryavan, another word for mighty, Viryavan, right? Brave. Okay. Dharmagyascha, one who knows dharma. There are people who know, who can say, but there are people who live. Dharmagya means one who lives it. Kritagya, very grateful. Kritagya, gya means to know. Kritagya means they know and remember even the smallest thing someone has done for them. They will never forget. Kritagyascha. Satyavakya, only speaks the truth. Now, this Satya is not just honest, but Satya means always speak the eternal truth. Eternally has to be true. Dridhavrata, determined, not weak. To change their mind very quickly. Not. Charitrena chako yukta, one who has impeccable character. Sarvabhuteshu ko hitaha, one who has well-wishing hita for all living entities. Vidwan kaha, is there a person who is very knowledgeable? Kaha samarthascha, is there a person who is capable? Is Lord Ramchandra incapable of anything? Kascha eka priyadarshana. Actually, in Sanskrit, if you say Kascha priyadarshana is for one person. Eka priyadarshana is to beautify the word priyadarshana, because in Sanskrit there are, unlike English, you have singular and plural, right? In Sanskrit, you have singular, dual, and plural. One, two, and more than two. So when you say priyadarshana, it's one. Priyadarshanav is two. Priyadarshana is multiple. So when you say priyadarshana, it's already one person. But he says eka priyadarshana. That means, is there singularly one person who is so good looking that no one else will compare with? Is there such a person? Okay. Atmavan, and there are many meanings to the word Atmavan. Atmavan means self-realized, or situated on the self, or the one who carries all the living entities. Van, Prabhupada taught us, Bhagavan. Van means carrier. So Atmavan, one who carries all the living entities. Atmavan, Jita Krodho, one who is conquered anger. Dyutiman, effulgent. One is effulgent by one's knowledge, one's greatness. Dyutiman, Ko Anusuyakaha, and completely free of envy. Kasya Bibhyati Devascha, who even the demigods are afraid of. Jatu Roshasya Samyuge, is there a person with all these qualities in him? He says, Ethat Ichamaha Shrotum, I want to hear. Param Kautuhalam Hime. Kutuhala means the heart is completely in restless condition. I cannot sleep, I cannot eat, I cannot breathe, I cannot think of anything else because this is bothering me. Why Sita Devi is come? Param Kautuhalam Hime Maharshetvam Samarthosi. You are very capable, oh great sage Narada. Gyatum Gyatumeva Vidham Naram. Because you are among all human beings, for everyone, you are the great personality who can give. Then he says, Shrutva, having heard this, Narada Muni, Shrutvacha etat trayalokogya Valmikir Narado Vachaha. Narada Muni, Trayalokyagya, who knows everything in the three worlds. He spoke to Valmiki. Shruyatam iti. That's a beautiful word. Shruyatam iti. He said, Shruyatam, let it be heard. What does Krishna say to Arjuna in the 7th chapter, first word? I am saying you, Shrunu. Shrunu means you hear. Shruyatam means let it be heard. There is no group there. There is nobody else there. But he says, Shruyatam, let it be heard. So what is the indicator there? There's a bigger message. There is an instruction. There is a seva coming. If you go to spiritual master, always come out with some seva. Shruyatam iti cha mantra prahrushta vakyam abravit. Narada was so happy, he got a chance to speak and make sure that it would be heard by everyone. So in the two shlokas, Shruyatam comes twice. Then he says, Bahavo durlabhascheva ye vaya kirtita guna. Bahavo, among all personalities. Durlabhascheva, even having one of this quality in completeness is so difficult. We can be grateful, but can we be eternally grateful? We write, eternally grateful servant. We can be Viryavan, but can we be Viryavan in all circumstances? We can be Priyadarshana once in a while. Can we be Priyadarshana if you're having a bad hair day or no hair at all or grey haired one? Priyadarshana. So Narada Muni is thinking one quality is difficult to have some of or all of them in one person. Durlabhas. Yeah? Mune Vakshyamaha. I will speak to you. Buddha Tair Yuktam. So once you know, Buddha means from where I have learnt. He says, Tair Yuktam, Shruyatam Naraha. Again, Shruyatam, let it be heard. So back to that first verse. Tapa Swadhyaya Niratam. So this verse is about how to approach the spiritual master. And the whole idea of Ramayana is that it's a glorification of one's guru. Especially Valmiki glorifying his guru, Narada Muni. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. No, I pressed something, I will cursor. There it is. Thank you. So, you're okay? This is too Sanskrit or should I just give the storyline?
Sanskrit is very good.
Okay, thank you. And that's what I like to hear. Okay, thank you. Okay. Qualifications of a disciple here. First of all, Tapa Swadhyaya Niratam. That one cannot approach a spiritual master for a genuine questioning if one is not himself or herself situated in tapasya and swadhyaya. Because whatever the guru says will not stick. It will not stick unless one has. That's why we are asked to follow the regulative principles. These are the pillars on which our hearing from guru can stand on. Otherwise, we cannot hear, we cannot understand, we cannot know how to manage our life. This is why tapa swadhyaya. And very, very important, paripracha. Same thing on the grammar side of things. Sorry, because this is important. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, what's that verse? 434. My Bhakti Shastri. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashna. He doesn't say prashna. He says pariprashna. In Sanskrit, when you put pari in front, it means in totality, in completeness, comprehensively, thoroughly. And it also means most importantly. So it's not like if Krishna has said, Tad vidhi pranipatena prashnena sevaya. Maharaj, what stock should I invest in? That is prashna. Maharaj, what car should I buy? What models are good there? I don't know. Please tell me. You know everything. Pariprashna. That means it's a different grade of questions. So here also the word pari. If you read Bhagavad Gita, in very, very critical moments, Krishna uses the prefix pari. Okay? Especially that verse where Krishna says, I carry everything. Yoga kshemam vaham. What's the starting of the verse? Ananyas chintanto vam yejana. Oh, pari upasate. Not just upasate. You ring some bell, make some offering. No. Pari upasate. Who worships me completely, thoroughly, comprehensively. which means Shravanam, Kirtam, all the elements are there. So Paripapracha, he asked. And he asked because his heart was Kautuhalam. So that's the qualification of the disciple. Then is the qualification of the guru. It's not enough that the disciple is tapasvi. Guru is also tapasvi because he uses the words here. Tapasvi. He himself has heard from his guru by being austere, by taking on a life of service. Bhag Vidambaram. You should know how to answer the question. Not just say it, but say it in a way that is beneficial, truthful, uplifting. Aren't these all characteristics of tapas or tapaha in Bhagavad Gita? Austerity of body, austerity of mind, austerity of speech. So both disciple and spiritual master need to be performing austerities of these three categories. Then the exchange is genuine. And Muni Pungavam, you should be an expert among thoughtful persons. Most people find a guru based on dress. Nice beard, nice this. Oh, I'll tell you a story about, let's cut from the Sanskrit a little bit. There was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra who would speak in different villages. In particular, one village, there was a prostitute who had a daughter. And this daughter owned a little goat. The goat also had a beard. The sadhu also had a beard. So every time the sadhu would come to the village, this girl would run up to him and say, Sadhu, whose beard is better, yours or my goat's? Sadhu would not respond anything. He would just be quiet. He would go away. A few weeks later, he'd come back and she would ask the same question. So like this, months and years passed by, she had the same question. Many years passed and the sadhu was on his deathbed. Antakalecha mam, one should think of me, right? That's what Krishna says. The sadhu is in his final breaths, just one or two more breaths and going to Parampadam, going back to Vaikuntha. He opens his eyes and says, where is that prostitute's daughter? Call her. Everyone is shocked. Sadhu Maharaj, last moments, you should, Ante Narayana Smriti, you're supposed to think about the Lord. You're thinking about a prostitute's daughter. Anyway, we're supposed to fulfill the desires of a person about to leave. So they run and send the message, oh, please come. So this woman, now she's a woman, she comes running. And everyone's shocked. They want to hear, what is he going to say at this very opportune, pregnant moment? He opens his eyes and whatever breath is left, he says, my beard is better. So everyone is shocked. So this girl asks, what are you saying? So then he tells her, you remember since your childhood, you would ask me this question. So then she said, then at this very critical moment of life, why are you answering this question? And why couldn't you answer it then and there? That your beard is better. So he said, as a sadhaka, one should never be overconfident on one's own accomplishment. Because anytime one can fall. But now I'm at a junction of life where it is very clear I'll see the Supreme Lord. So at this point, I can confidently say, my beard is better than your goat's beard. Because anywhere in between, if I said I am better, I can become worse than a goat. So I don't have such confidence. Very humbly said, I don't have such confidence. I mean, it's a sweet story, but you get that. Okay. All right, tapasvi bhag vidam varaha. So the word Narada, why this is important? Because Narada is going to speak the Ramayana very soon. Narada has two meanings. Nara means human being. Okay. Nara has two opposite meanings. Nara means that inseparable knowledge that stays with the living being. We are such chit anandas, right? So chit. So Nara means that inseparable knowledge that always is with the living entity. The is the person who gives it. So Narada has the function in creation to give us that knowledge that is inseparable from us, just that we don't know. Another meaning for the word Nara is the dense darkness of ignorance. And Gyate means one removes it. So Narada means one who gives knowledge or one who dissipates darkness. That's there in the heart. Okay. All right. So now the story continues. He asked this question. Narada Muni smiled, became very, very happy. And he said, I will speak to you. And he said, in the Ikshvaku dynasty, or within the Ikshvaku dynasty right now, there is a person called Rama, Sri Ramachandra. And he is the best among all. And all the qualities that you ask reside or take shelter in him. Generally, when we are in any difficult situation, we take shelter of those qualities. Right? I need to be humble at this situation. I need to be grateful. We go and take shelter of those qualities. These qualities take shelter in Lord Ramachandra. So he gives a whole list how Lord Ramachandra is this very amazing personality, and he narrates the entire Ramayana in about I think 100 shlokas. So less than 100, about 90 some shlokas. He narrates the whole Ramayana up to that point that has happened. So in one sense, this chapter per one is called Sankshipta Ramayana. It's the concise version of Ramayana. Just the way Bhagavatam was given in concise form, Ramayana was also given in concise form inside. Please, Shruyatam, let it be heard by everyone. So Valmiki has a project. Not yet clear, but he has a project. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, oh Arjuna, what I am speaking to you today, I spoke to Vivaswan. When he spoke to Vivaswan, it's not the same shlokas. It's the same message. When Vivaswan spoke it to Ikshvaku, Ikshvaku spoke it to Manu, like that's been coming down. So Sankshipta, in summary, the whole Ramayana is given. Then chapter 2 begins. Okay. He says, Naradasya tu tad vakyam shrutva vakya visharada. Narada is called Vakya Visharada. He can explain it so wonderfully. Pujyamasa Dharmatma Sahasishyo Mahamuni. So Valmiki was sitting with his disciple Bharadwaj Muni. They heard this. Yatavat Pujastena, they worship Naradastata. They worship Narada Muni together. And Jagama, Narada Muni got up and he left. As soon as he left, Valmiki sat there for a little moment, thinking what Narada said. Sa muhurtam gate tasmin. So muhurtam is about 45 minutes, hour and a half it is said. Brahma muhurta, so hour and a half. Muhurtam api means little time. He sat there. So he was supposed to go for his bath in the Ganga. So he says, Jagama Tamasatiram Janhavya Stat Viratam. Instead of going to the Jannavi river, Ganga, he went to the Tamasa river. Because it was nearby. It says Aviduratam, not too far away from there. Instead of going to the usual Ganga river, he was contemplating what Narada said, and he went to the Tamasa river. There, Satutiram Samadhyaya Tasma Munistada Shishyamahastitam Pravesha. He entered this beautiful garden along the banks of the Tamasa river. The river was flowing. If you ever heard a flowing river, it is so sweet to hear. The cascading waters. And if it has nice, lush canopy of trees, even better. What to speak of vines that are on the trees? And if these vines have these small, beautiful flowers, then it becomes even better. And there, if there is a cool breeze that is flowing, also it's afternoon time, right? When the heat is very intense, if there is a cool breeze, then your experience is enhanced even more. And in that cool breeze, these birds are nicely cooing together. And so beautiful. Valmiki tells Bharadwaja, can you just soak in this whole experience? So wonderful. While he's just soaking it in, one arrow passes right by his ear. And when he turns and sees, one of the birds is killed. They're called the Kanda-Ch1-2 birds. There is a couple mating. And Kanda-Ch1-2 birds are such that they always stay in pairs. They never separate. So when they separate, then the other Kanda-Ch1-2 bird goes through complete distress. That's how it's in the birds. So these Kanda-Ch1-2 birds are mating there, and the arrow's hunter passes by and kills one of the male bird. Okay, and the female Kanda-Ch1-2 bird is wailing. She's crying like anything. Whoa. So in this wonderful situation, amazingly, supremely serene and uplifting condition, when he sees this cruel act of a hunter killing, he becomes very angry suddenly. Okay, and in that anger, he utters a curse. Ma nishad pratishthantvam agama sashwati sama yat krauncha mithunadekam avadhi kamamohita. This curse comes out of his mouth. And basically the curse means ma is not, right? Maya, not that which is. Ma nishada. Nishadas are hunters. When Vena's body was churned, the first personality that came was a Nishada, tribal hunters. So he says, Ma Nishada, oh you hunter, Pratishtham. Your mind can never be stable. Pratishtham, Tvam Agama Shashwati Sama. It's not like your mind will be distressed for the next 1 hour. For 1 month, no peace of mind. He says, Agama Shashwati. For the rest of your life, no peace of mind for you. What did the hunter do? He just did his occupation. That's what hunters do. Right? But suddenly the curse came. And why? Yat krauncha mithuna. Mithuna means couple. Or a couple engaged in unison. Yat krauncha mithunad ekam avadhi. You killed. Kama mohitam. While they were completely, obliviously uniting with each other. They were unaware of the surroundings. You took advantage of such a situation. I curse you. And Valmiki paused and said, how is it that I have chanted the name of Lord Ram for 16 years? I've just had this amazing darshan of Narada Muni, and he has completely filled my heart with speaking about Lord Ram. Why am I not above anger? Why am I angry? How can anger come? And anger has come from Shoka. Because that lamentation of seeing an innocent bird die. So he tells Bharadwaja Muni, did you notice? Let me see if I can find it to read it. He says, did you notice that the curse actually with instruments, it can be sung poetically because it is so perfectly composed. It is in 32 syllables. You can divide them into exactly 2 rows of 16. You can divide them into 4 rows of 8. Wow, how can a curse, how can shoka manifest a shloka? From shoka has come shloka. Generally, we say that for all our shoka, shloka is the solution. Right? Whenever we're in distress, we find a shloka that will calm our heart. That is why it is said in Bhagavad Gita, the shloka dissipates shoka. Which is that verse? No, Krishna assures Arjuna, 18th chapter. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami ma shuchaha. Shuchas, don't worry. Don't be in this shoka mentality. So that shloka pacifies shoka. In this case, this shoka gave out a shloka that he was not even thinking about. He said, have you wondered how beautifully it is composed? But I wonder why is it a curse? So the curse is clear. Now that verse has about 9 meanings. So I'm going to tell you all the 9 meanings. Is that okay? Should we skip it? No, of course not. Even if everyone goes away, I'll speak to myself. All right, so we'll start with this verse has different meanings. Okay. So the first thing, this is the, he's explained by the acharyas that this is the birth of the Ramayana. This verse has the entire Ramayana in it. Okay. So remember, Ramayana is actually a glorification of Sita Devi. Right? So the first word that comes out is Ma. Ma is Lakshmi Devi or Radharani, the supreme consort. There is a book called Amarakosha, which I used to know half of it. Now I don't know even the spelling of it. It's completely gone out of my memory. There are certain parts of my life that are so black that I don't have any memory of those phases of time. So I hope I remember the Supreme Lord before I die. But anyway, in Amarakosha is basically a dictionary. There are 2 types of kosha, means dictionary. There is the Nirukti and the Amarakosha. And for children in Gurukulas, where they have to learn Sanskrit, they're always taught Amarakosha. That means you know the entire vocabulary that's there. How many of us gave GRE to come? You get GRE? Okay. SAT. GRE is where you have a thick book and you have to learn the vocabulary, you have to learn all the words. So that vocabulary, GRE, in the old form was Amarakosha. It has all the words in, so you know the meanings of it. So according to Amarakosha, Ma means it's Lakshmi Vachaka. That means it's the word that indicates Lakshmi Devi. Remember Vachaka and Vachaka? So Lokamata, that's one word for Lakshmi Devi. Ma, Rama, Mangala Devata. These are the names for Lakshmi Devi, or the consort of the Supreme Lord. So the first meaning, he says, this word Tvam Agataha has to be broken as Tva and Agamaha. Sorry, Agama. So it means, oh, for endless years, hunter, you will not have any feasts. But because it starts with Ma, the verse has a whole different meaning. Ma is Lakshmi Devi. Nishada means sitting in, or the resting place. Ma Nishada, resting place of Lakshmi Devi is the chest or the heart of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so Ma Nishada, O Supreme Lord, who's the resting place of Lakshmi Devi. Pratishtham, may she be situated, may your glory be situated such that Shashwati Sama, for the rest of eternity, it is, let you be glorified as Yakrauncha Mithuna, the one who killed one of the pairs of Kanda-Ch birds. Or he didn't kill any birds, but Kanda-Ch1-2, we'll discuss what that means. Avadhi Kama Mohitam. It refers to Ravana. Kama Mohitam, one who's taken over by lust. You've killed him. So, this word Kanda-Ch has meanings. So, let me see before I get that. Yeah, well, this Kanda-Ch bird in Hindi is called Kunj. Okay, and in English, I guess the name is Demoiselle Crane. Demoiselle. It was name given by the Queen Mary Antoinette. Okay, and this is a very special type of crane, species of crane that flies from the north in August and September. Flies from the north and comes southwards for migrating. Birds migrate from cold place to warm place, and they migrate, and they come in pairs. And in March, April, they fly back the same path that they took. Okay. Now, these birds, 26,000 feet. Yeah. And they fly in a very, very awkward position. First of all, the crown, I'll try to send a picture of the bird for you in the WhatsApp group. They have very long, slender necks and long legs. So when they have to fly for their aerodynamics, they have to stretch their neck forward like that. Yoga teachers. And stretch their legs back like that. So they're one like this, the picture I can think of it is, what is that plane that stopped? Concorde is like that, long neck stretch forward and high speed. Right? They have to travel thousands of miles to come to India where the pasturing grounds are. So they take a very treacherous path, although they can fly lower apparently, where all other birds migrate. Higher place the winds are more, so they take a very difficult trajectory. Why? They take a very difficult trajectory. Come, they graze, they mate, and then they fly back. Okay. So Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi are also the Kanda-Ch birds. All right. So they take a very difficult path from north to south, and then go back the same path back northwards. So there's another meaning. So now, before we get to the description of how the Kanda-Ch birds are Rama and Sita, these birds, when they walk sideways. Okay. So the word Kanda-Ch in Sanskrit means curved, crooked, deceitful. So Kanda-Ch-Mithuna means a deceitful couple or a crooked couple. Ravana and Mandodari. Ravana is crooked. And she didn't say much, although she was sad, but crooked couple. So Kanda-Ch-Mithuna Dekam means you kill the male of that crooked couple. So that's one meaning. It's indicating Ravana and Mandodari. Now that's in the Yuddha Kanda. If you come earlier, there is another Kanda-Ch-Mithuna, Vali and Tara. So Kanda-Ch-Mithuna Dekam means you killed Vali, or you will kill Vali, who's also a crooked fellow. Okay. So that is the indication of which Kanda? Kishkit. Then there is another Kanda-Ch, crooked fellow. Mandodari. Okay. Then Kanda-Ch-Mithuna, the Sita and Rama are also considered a pair of Kanda-Ch birds. Remember, they take the difficult path, not that they're crooked or deceitful. They take this difficult path to come. And in Sundara Kanda, these lovely, passionate birds are separated. Remember, they always are in pairs, and when one is separated, the other cries like anything. And so that ruffian, crooked, is Ravana, who separates them lustfully. And you almost killed Sita Devi. He never harmed her, but killing her by separating her from Lord Ramachandra. So Sundara Kanda is also included. All right. Okay. Then in Uttarakanda, that is also there a part of Ramayana. Kamohitam means fascinated by Kama. Now this Kama here doesn't mean lust. It means the conjugal love that Lord Ramachandra and Sita share between themselves. Kama Mohita means to experience or to be influenced by the desire to enjoin separation. Sita was sent to Valmiki's ashram. So that entire kandas of Ramayana manifested in one shloka, and that too out of anger or sadness, shoka, right? Anger and sadness. So this sadness show, because this whole Ramayana took birth from shoka, from the beginning till the end. All kandas, you will only find, of course, as we discussed, that other rasas are mixed. The platform on which Ramayana operates is shoka. Complete, heart-wrenching shoka. From the beginning till the end. There are families that break, brothers that fight, or they doubt each other. There is poison put in. Father is separated from son, mother is separated from son, father is husband and wife are separated, brothers are separated, brothers fight, and the whole thing is based on Shuka. Supreme Lord and his consort are separated. What can be more painful than that? So the whole Ramayana operates on Shuka. Okay, so a little bit more on that Krauncha. Then in that verse is the word Shashwati Sama. It means that the demons dwelling in the forest, and by eliminating the demons in the forest for eternity, you have given the sages peace of mind. So that is Aranya Kanda. So in Balakanda, Ma Nishada. Ma Nishada is the Devi, Sita Devi, and the Supreme Lord. They have to come together. So Balakanda is where they are united. So Ma Nishada is the indicator of Balakanda. So much is in one word. So he wonders, how is it possible that I can say these things? How did it come out of me? So I'm going to tell you something. So when he's caught by surprise, Lord Brahma appears. And Lord Brahma tells him, oh, don't worry. What you just spoke has been inspired by me. Because I want you to take up a very important service. I want you to write every detail of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes. Okay. And he says, that whatever happened in public with Lord Ramachandra and whatever happened in private, because there are some things even Lakshmana doesn't know, that Valmiki will tell us. Okay, so whatever happened in public or whatever happened in private, every detail you will be able to witness and you will be able to speak it. In fact, on your palm, the entire Ramayana will manifest. What you see, you write. Valmiki was the first smartphone user. Like this. Chapter 1, chapter 2, pause, 1. Exactly. Okay. So he says, Rahasyam cha prakasham cha yad vriddham tasya dhimata. Dhimata means you need a lot of brain power, intelligence to be able to write something like this. So Rahasyam cha, even that is secret, even that is confidential, you will be able to speak. Therefore, reading the lines gives us dharma. Reading between the lines gives us Brahma. And then he says, Nate vad anurata kavya kaschid atra bhavishyati kuru rama katham punyam shloka baddham manorama. Take on the service of putting this entire Ramayana shloka baddham. Capture them in shlokas. And how should the shlokas be? Manorama. They should rejoice your heart. And Nate Vag Anurata Kavya. This word will be there such that you will speak the truth. Be careful. Don't modify your hero. That he has to look good in public. Nothing. Write the truth. So he wrote it as it is. Therefore, sometimes we find why he gives us the truth as it happened, lets us work our way through the scripture, and then he gives him a blessing. Yavat sthasyanti giraya, as long as mountains stand. Saritascha mahitale, as long as rivers flow on the surface of the earth. Tavat Ramayana Katha Lokeshu Prachalishyati. So there are two meanings to this. As long as mountains stand on the earth, as long as rivers flow on the surface, that long Ramayana's Katha among people will continue. The Acharya says, okay, that's one blessing, but the real blessing is this. That as long as Ramayana is spoken among human beings, mountains will stand on earth and rivers will flow on the earth. Once you stop Ramayana Katha, will all go away. End of creation. So he gives him a blessing. It will continue till the end of creation. The Ramayana Katha, somebody or the other will keep speaking and glorifying Lord Ramachandra. So when Lord Brahma is giving his blessings, as we discussed, Saraswati Devi also came. And she said, Tat upagada samasya sandhi yogam sama madhura artha vakya baddham. Whatever you say, even if it is the harsh truth and reality, it will be madhura. It will be so sweet. It will come from you very sweetly. Raghuvara charitam muni pranitam. Please start and give. So Gayatri Devi also showed up and she blessed. I will discuss that my entire Gayatri mantra will be encircling your Ramayana. So that whoever studies Ramayana will get the complete purport, meaning, deeper inner truths of the Gayatri. Internet connection is unstable. Okay. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Yeah, there's a question here.
I'll speak.
Go ahead.
So, many questions, but a couple of quick ones. So, in the first chapter, there's a summary of the Ramayana given by Narada. It was about 99 chapters, something like that. Is it significant, the content that he covers in that summary, to see what Narada feels is like the highlights of Ramayana?
I didn't recite the whole chapter. Generally, when they study Ramayana in any gathering, they recite the first chapter together. The whole Ramayana is there. You will see Valmiki stays so true to everything and then inserts all the details into it. Yeah, the chapter is very, very amazing. Usually it's recited. It's a common practice to recite that entire chapter.
I was curious what Narada Muni sees
Same
as
story.
highlights.
Same. Dasharatha wanted to make Lord Ramchandra the king. Kaikeyi asks for this, 14 years of forest, goes there, and when Ravana comes, he makes friendship with the monkey.
Is there any instruction within that narration?
I mean, it's the bija, it's the seed that gives the story form of the pastime. It's an encapsulated pastime, no particular instruction per se. It's an encapsulated pastime. And then he opens up with all the. As you're speaking, it's how it seems to me. National Geographic video of a cheetah chasing an antelope, and the antelope is trapped. And then National Geographic will slow down the video for us, right? So what Narada Muni gave was that actual version, zoom, real frames per second. Then what Valmiki is giving us is, and the cheetah is running, you see all the muscles moving, the skin shining, the eyes focused like this, the legs moving this way. I mean, the whole video's thrill is when you see the in slow motion. That's the 24,000 verses. So many lessons, you get all the details. And you had something else?
I was wondering if Valmiki gave his own history in his Valmiki Ramayana, so that's separate. So he doesn't, like how Vyasadeva gives his background a little bit.
The difference between Itihasa and Purana is this. Itihasa is a live commentary of what's going on. Purana is stories about people. So they give their biography, you tell this story, you hear about Puranjana, this one, that person, this person, all their stories and histories are given. Itihasa is about such and such, and it is just narrated. And in the Mahabharata, Vyasadeva gives his origin because it's part of the running commentary of what's going on. This one, then this one, then this king, then this one, that son, that daughter, and just keep going. That's the distinction between Itihasa and Purana. Anything else? Anyone on the phone? Oh, sorry, one more here.
Explain on the 16 qualities.
Oh, yeah. Is there any, in the future, the 16 qualities? We will touch on all the 16 qualities again and again and again. Okay, we will. Because the first set of shlokas are very amazing. Ko naswin sampratam loke gunavan. In fact, I'm going to do it now. If there are no other questions for some time. Yeah. If anyone wants to leave, please leave. It is said, I'll tell you, it is said that there are two ways of listening to Ramayana. Okay. One is called sideways, the other is called front and back. Okay. Front and back listening of Ramayana is like this. That is also beneficial. It's beneficial to others. So that is one way of listening to Ramayana. Other way is listening to Ramayana sideways. So it is said that whoever listens to Ramayana has one of these two ways of appreciating it. Either this way or this way. Except one personality, Lord Ananta. Lord Ananta, when he listens to Ramayana, he is jubilant, but he cannot shake his head. Because all the universes are resting on his hood. If he shakes his head, whole creation will shake. So he just sits like, oh, wonderful, wonderful, I cannot shake my head. So there are two ways. We can appreciate whichever way you like. If the audience is appreciating vertically, I'm fine. And for those of you in India, if you want to log off, I totally would understand. It's late in the night. For us, it's long weekend, and I have decided to punish everyone. Oh, well, we'll punish the Indians also. Okay, anyone on the phone or computer, online, any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am Mukesh from Bangalore.
Oh, you're on the phone. Who's speaking?
Mukesh from Bangalore Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mukesh.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My 7-year-old boy is having question from the previous session, Prabhu. If it is okay with you, a small question he has.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So my
Children
question
are more
is,
awake than adults, but that's okay.
why could Valmiki could not speak Ram Ram? That's my question.
Why he could not speak
Ram Ram.
Ram name, name of Lord Ramachandra?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
I'll give an indirect answer and then come to the direct part.
Okay, Prabhu.
You heard Prabhupada in his purport say that, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's taught that the Mayavadis can never utter the name of Krishna.
Okay.
Is it because they cannot say Krishna? They're very prolific and proficient in their speech. They will utter Sanskrit slokas very nicely. But Krishna does not come out of their mouth.
Okay.
Very rarely. They will say Krishna. In fact, those who are afflicted with impersonalism, if you ever write it, they will never say Supreme Personality of Godhead or Krishna or Rama. You know how they write it? He, the Almighty. Almighty. That's how they write. Even in interaction with impersonalist people, may Almighty. Oh, I was also Almighty. May Almighty. Almighty. May the divine bless you. It's all like that. They never say Krishna. Okay. So, of course, this Harid, who was a dacoit, was not well educated. Second, about tribal or unsophisticated people, is that actually, if you look, depending upon one's tongue, one has the ability to pronounce certain words or unable to pronounce.
Yes.
Okay? So unless one is trained in speaking these words, for example, anyone who learns Sanskrit has to learn 256 consonants. Okay, there are actually 55 or 56 vowels and consonants in the Sanskrit language. Like that, and then ka kha ga ga na ta tha da da na da. It's the reference. Unlike 26, what we say, syllables or words in the English alphabet, akshara. So as you learn, Sanskrit or the refined language of the Vedas, one can utter words from the lips, from the tip of the tongue, when the tongue hits the palate, like tha, from the throat, and from the stomach. The different sounds emanate from different parts of the body. Sorry, it didn't come out right. Different sounds are generated from the stomach, the throat, the palate, the teeth, and the lips. So one has to be refined and sophisticated. This guy was a hunter. Even the simple word of Rama, he couldn't utter.
Okay.
That is his misfortune. So that from that misfortune, he was transformed into a very fortunate person. But not only recited the name of Lord Ramachandra, but then wrote the entire biography.
Prabhu, I have one question on actually in the same context actually. How come, why Valmiki was so fortunate that he received so much of benediction? He just chanted the name of Lord Rama, even that was not perfectly. But how come he got so much of fortune that Saraswati they appeared, Gayatri Devi appeared, Brahmaji appeared, they gave different boons and blessings that he could.
Anyone who gets the grace of a guru, whether they are drunkards, rascals, thieves, dacoits, debauchers, whoever they are, if they get the grace of guru, they can become very great. So there is no doubt in that.
Okay. Because you see, many of the sages, they might have done so much of penance and everything, but they may not have got that much of opportunity what Valmiki has received. So that is what my confusion is.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadyasya Yataha Anvayad Itaratas Charteshu Abhigya Swarat. Supremely independent. And as he is independent, His devotees are independent. They can bestow mercy on anyone. If all the great sages only got great mercy, then the common people will say, "Hamara kya hoga? What will happen to me?" So when mercy has to act, it has to act from the deepest level of consciousness so that everyone has hope. At least we can look and say, oh, I'm not a highway robber. I have some hope here.
Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank
Radha.
you.
Okay, who's next?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my obeisance.
Haribol.
Radha has a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I've heard that there is a fake Sita and a real Sita. So like I've heard that as soon as Ravana saw Sita, Sita was taken to Shiva for protection. So is that true?
I don't know about Shiva protecting her. What I've heard is that as soon as Ravana went to touch Sita, Maya Sita was left behind and the real Sita was protected by Agni. And later when Sita Devi is asked to walk through fire, Agni Devi returns the original Sita to Lord Ramachandra. And that is why in Sundara Kanda, when we get there, Hanuman's tail is being burnt. Sita Devi prays to Agni Devi that please let your leaping flames not burn our dear devotee Hanuman. So it is said that the whole of Lanka burnt, but Hanuman's tail did not even become hot. He didn't feel it. There's a shloka where he looks at his tail and he wonders, hey, how come? I'm not feeling any burning sensation. And then immediately his mind goes to, that is because of the grace of Lord Ramachandra and the prayers of Sita Devi.
So Maya Sita is basically the fake Sita, right?
Yes. But we don't go through the story thinking, oh, that's fake Sita anyway, it doesn't matter. That is reading between the lines. When you read the lines, then the story has a lot of meaning. Then you wonder, why is Ramchandra crying? And he said, you're fake Sita.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice question. Anyone else? Yes, a question from our young man here. No? I thought you raised your hand. Change your mind? Okay. You had something?
I was wondering if Valmiki, when he was in this sort of frustrated space and asked, is there anyone who's perfect? And Narada Muni comes in front of him. I was thinking, certainly Lord Ramachandra, but also Narada Muni exemplifies all of those 16 qualities. Was there any commentary around that?
No, he didn't say, think of me, I'm already. He's glorifying the Lord. But see, Narada Muni is said to be as potent as the super soul, that he knows the inner movements of all the living entities. So he just showed up, right? Like he showed up for Vyasa, he showed up. And he knows what's going on in Valmiki's heart. He says, no, kautuhalam hime. So when he spoke, then it says, Valmiki sat there, muhurtam api, and contemplated, thought about it. Must be very interesting. That I have this little lingering doubt about Lord Ramachandra. Although it's not spoken like that because you don't say, but that's sort of the background given by the many teachers. It's happening in the background. So when the spiritual master says the person that you are doubting, the Supreme Lord, he is the one who is the perfect personality. But the thing is, Lord Ramachandra constantly remains as a human being. Remember, that's the theme. Atmana Manusham Manne. I consider myself a human being. So he thinks, is there a perfect human being at all? He says, that is Lord Ramachandra. And when you write, by Lord Brahma's grace, you will, all the doubt you had will get cleared. So it is to help him remove all his doubts and all of our doubts. That is why Uttarakanda is written, because he told him, write the truth, don't hide anything. So Uttarakanda is written so that it has all the answers for these questions. Why Agni Pariksha? Why did he leave the pregnant wife like this? Why did he do like this? Why did he... There are verses where Lord Ramachandra says certain things and you don't. Really? Why is he saying like that? It's the Manusham Manu. There are hidden meanings too.
As I speak, I just use the word pariksha, and I just speak pariksha.
Hmm?
Thoroughly see.
Correct. Pariksha. So if you study Bhagavad Gita where the words with the prefix pari comes, then it brings like, wow, there's some meaning here for it. Haridwan, you had a question? Okay, final anyone on the phone, computer, question, comments? Okay, we're going to pause for this week and we will
Hare
continue.
Krishna, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, this is Shivaram. Please accept my humble obeisances. All worship Srila Prabhupada
Hare
and Guru Maharaj. I wanted to share that I'm very, I don't know what's the right, honored or not honored. I'm very grateful that I'm able to hear the Ramayana in such great detail. I'm very thankful to you for presenting it so nicely.
Well,
I don't
thank
think
you.
I'm able to actually do justice hearing it properly.
I'm not
But at
able to
least
do this properly.
I'm not saying that, but I really, it gives me impetus to listen to it again and again. I may not be able to do it. I'm not able to listen to it again and again, but I certainly have the desire to listen to it again and again and again. So thank you very much, and also thanks to all the devotees, Jamuna Jivan Prabhu, for getting this program together and recording and everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shivam.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's pause and then we'll meet again next week. We'll send you the timing and stuff. So what we were told is 9:45 here. Perhaps is a little early because the weekly bhoga comes to the temple and the devotees here try to help, and so they may not be able to be on time. We will start at 10 o'clock Central Time going forward, just 15 minutes later. So the devotees get a chance to do the bhoga transfer and a little prasadam. So we'll meet at 10 o'clock Saturdays, Central Time.
It'll get later for India once daylight.
Yes, once the daylight saving happens, Indian people, Hari bol all of you.
Night for Ramayana.
Yeah. Okay. Then you will all become officially Nishacharas, night crawlers. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.